Hey darling, welcome back to my channel. Boyce here, and on this channel it is my goal to help you find your next book obsession. And so I did a thing. It's a very dangerous thing. I went book shopping, and you know what happens when I go book shopping. I come home with roughly 7 billion books and absolutely no regrets. Today I'm showing you everything I picked up, and I am so excited about this stack. We have got progression fantasy, we have got dark academia, we have some Grimdark, which I know is going to wreck me emotionally. And we've even got some completely different stories that I'm really curious to check out. Today's video is pure Book Dragon energy, and I am so here for it. So let's dive in and talk about what I grabbed. Book number 1, Unsouled by Will Wight. Now, this is the first book in the Cradle series, and if you've been around the Cultivation fantasy community at all, you've heard people talk about this series. It's finished now, there are 12 books in total, and it is basically the gold standard when it comes to Cultivation fantasy. The magic system here is based on a really cool Asian-inspired setting. Think martial arts, think wuxia? I think that's how you say it. Roast me in the comments if I got that wrong. Think leveling up through different stages of power. The main character starts at the absolute bottom of the power scale in his world, and the whole series is about watching him claw his way up. People compare the series to Dragon Ball or Avatar: The Last Airbender for good reason. From everything I can tell, there's that same satisfaction of watching someone get stronger while the stakes keep climbing. This one has been recommended to me by so many people, and I cannot wait to dive in. Next, we have the Poppy War. I'm going to be very straight with you. From everything I've read, this one is so brutal. This is a grimdark military fantasy inspired by real Chinese history, specifically the Second Sino-Japanese War. From what I can tell, the story follows a war orphan who gets into an elite military academy, and the magic system involves shamans pulling gods into their bodies to use their power, which is awesome. The reviews are very clear that this gets extremely dark. We're talking graphic violence and some truly devastating war scenes. But people also say it's one of the best grimdark debuts in years, so I guess I'm ready to have my heart broken. Next, we have The Will of the Many by James Islington, and this one is dark academia meets ancient Roman politics, and I am here for it. This is set in an elite academy where there's this magic system based on will. Basically, lower classes have their strength and focus leached away to empower the people above them. Now, in this book, our main character is going undercover to investigate a murder, which means he has to climb the ranks while keeping his real identity hidden. Everyone who's read this says the ending is absolutely jaw-dropping, and I keep seeing it get compared to Red Rising and The Name of the Wind, so not gonna lie, my expectations are through the roof for this one. Next, we have Malice by Gwynne. This is epic fantasy in the most traditional sense. Good versus evil, prophecies, an approaching god war, the whole 9 yards. But from what I've read, Gwynne takes these classic tropes and makes them feel fresh. The story follows multiple characters, with the main one being a young boy who wants to become a warrior. The world has giants, talking crows, because why not? And these really cool animal companions. What stood out to me in the reviews is that people kept mentioning how much they loved the family dynamics in this book, which is not something you hear very often when it comes to epic fantasy. This is book 1 in a 4-book series, and it should be complete and ready for you to devour. I finally got my copy! I'm like 12 years late. No, but this is He Who Fights with Monsters by Shirtaloon, and this one is fun. It's LitRPG progression fantasy with an Australian main character who is sarcastic and witty and apparently very entertaining to follow. The premise is simple. An office manager wakes up in a magical world, gets powers that are technically evil, and has to figure out how to survive. This started as a web serial on Royal Road where it got 13 million views before getting published, and now there are 12 books in the series. If you like your humor mixed with progression fantasy, and you're okay with the main character who's going to make some pop culture references and crack some jokes while fighting monsters, this might be your next read. Okay, the next one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is completely different from everything else in this haul. It's not even fantasy. It's contemporary fiction with a philosophical bent. My dad actually recommended this one, and he said he thinks it's something I'm going to really enjoy. The concept is that the main character finds herself in a library between life and death, and every book in that library shows her a different version of her life based on the choices she could have made. It's about regret, the paths you can take in life, and finding meaning in the life you're actually living. This was a #1 New York Times bestseller, and the reviews say it's really uplifting despite dealing with pretty heavy themes around mental health. So, curious. The next one is Many Miles to Go by Brian Tracy. This is also a departure from my usual fantasy fare. This is a business memoir about Tracy's journey crossing the Sahara Desert as a young man and the lessons he learned that he later applied to business and life. This was another recommendation from my dad, so I'm very curious to see if I like it. I mean, it's supposed to be motivational. It's about persistence and vision. And honestly, I'm super curious about it, because sometimes you just need something different from your usual reads. That's all of the books in today's haul. Now I am planning to do first look overviews on all of these. So if you want to know which ones are worth your time, or if you want me to warn you away from any of them, make sure you're subscribed and that you have notifications turned on. That way you won't miss when those videos go up. All right, that's my book haul, and now I need to go figure out which one to start first. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these and which one you think I should dive into first. It's been great chatting with you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.